got the notification. We are officially live. So, rocking and rolling. And rocking and rolling to talk about things, all things summer, because it can feel really overwhelming to decide what products come into your home, what products can go and deserve to go on your family's bodies. And between Facebook and Google and curated ads, we are inundated and overwhelmed with the newest and the best constantly. But do any of these companies actually have your number one priority in mind, which is your family? Hey, Dr. T, thanks for joining. Do any of these companies have your family and your number one priority in mind? Their health, happiness, and safety, right? That's what it's all about. So I'm Dr. Mark. I am tuning in with you tonight. Oh, Callan's on here too. Hey, girl. Tuning in with you all tonight for our Healthy Happy Home series, where we kick off talking about products you commonly use in the summer and why you might consider switching some things up a little bit in regards to those items. So many of you, especially the people that are, Andy's on here too. So the three that have commented already know who I am, but if you are watching and you don't know who I am or a whole lot about our office, I forgot. I have slides. I have cool stuff for us tonight. So, Healthy Happy Home Workshop. As I said, I'm Dr. Mark. I am a pediatric prenatal and family chiropractor here at Healing Touch in West Fargo, North Dakota. That means we take care of a whole lot of kids, a whole lot of families, and that's super freaking exciting for me. I have done a lot of postgraduate education, research, and training. I hold a lot of certifications into all things health and wellness for kids and for families. This fancy schmancy CACCP credential you see here on the slide is probably the professional achievement I am the most proud of. It is a 200-hour comprehensive program designed to really up-level a doctor's skills with not just adjusting, but also like evaluation, assessment, and ongoing care of all stages of like family life. So from pregnancy to birth to infancy to childhood. So when I say like that's a big deal, it is a big deal, and I'm pretty damn proud of that. I'm also have two kiddos of my own. Well, three if you count Michael at home. Nah, I'm just kidding. But that means that I have put these concepts into play and I've implemented them in my own home. I practice these on the daily. So my thing that lights me up, my passion, my purpose, my drive is to share the hope and expectancy of a radiantly beautiful life, especially as it relates to family health. And if we're going to talk about all things exciting, I have had ants in my pants to talk about this stuff with you guys. And if we're going to be talking about ants and bugs and pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and whatever asides, then we need to talk about some things that go on and around our bodies. So summertime kicks up and out come the mosquitoes and the ants and the ticks, and everyone is quick to spray their yard and spray their body. And there are more than one reason why you might want to reconsider. So first off, I am the person, I haven't worn bug spray in 20 years. Like I'm spraying my arm and somehow it's in my mouth, and that is enough. I can taste that crap is not good for me, y'all. Like I can taste it. And I have the personal philosophy, if it goes in my body, no, if it goes on my body, it should be safe enough to go in my body. And I know that isn't the case with these. Also, when you look at the ingredients in a lot of bug sprays, especially when you're going past the recommended concentration, a lot of these ingredients are harmful. So you are out at Buffalo River State Park. It's an awesome little honey hole if you guys are looking for somewhere fun to take your family this summer. Especially littles, like the water there in like some of the sinkholes is pretty shallow. It's super fun. But anyways, you're out at Buffalo River State Park and it's thick woods there, right? So you're reapplying your bug spray. Well, most of the concentrations, no, not most, concentration of bug spray, all of them, is actually only related to how long the protection lasts. So it's very similar to like SPF 40/50. The concentration of a bug spray is related only to how long the protection lasts, not how effective it is at keeping bugs off of your skin. So if you're reapplying often, the chances are you are actually overexposing yourself to the active ingredients in that bug spray. This is especially true. This Bullfrog product here is one that is a combination bug spray and sunscreen. So we have been taught when you're reapplying sunscreen to reapply often, but you reapply often and you are going to, again, overexpose yourself to the active ingredients in that bug spray. So the kicker is the last 10 years, there have actually been an uptick. Yes, if you don't know me, I have a lame sense of humor. So buckle in for that, everybody. But there have been an uptick in Lyme cases, in West Nile cases, in some pretty crazy stuff. And so while I do recommend safer alternatives, I wouldn't necessarily go repellent commando. So instead, what I would like to offer you are some safer alternatives. So what our family actually does is we've got these handy dandy, where can you see these little amber bottles we picked up on Amazon. Why am I holding it like a ding dong? Who holds things like this? These little amber bottles that you can find on Amazon. I believe this is a 2-ounce bottle, but inside the one that I spray, like even on my 10-month-old, on my 3-year-old, on my husband and myself, this is a combination of citronella, rosemary, eucalyptus, and lemongrass. And if you ask me for the exact amounts, I'm not going to be able to tell you. There's also witch hazel and some water in here. Now, the same thing goes for our dog, Darla. She doesn't get any commercial like bug repellent. If we're outside, she has her own little amber bottle, and hers has got lavender and rosemary in there. If we were like at the lake or the pool, or like Darla's going to be swimming, what you would want to do, because this is obviously going to wash off in the water, right? You'd mix it with a carrier oil, like a coconut oil. I have to say, I've never greased up my dog. So if you try it, I would love to hear the outcome and how successful and adventurous it is for you. But a reminder, anytime that you use essential oils around or on your animals, dogs are very, very sensitive. So you want to make sure that you are diluting the heck out of them. Okay. The second piece that I have is make sure that, I mean, you can even buy essential oils at like Walmart these days. You can buy them at Hornbacher's. Like you can find brands everywhere, and not every brand is going to be a good quality that's even worth your money, even at a low price. So Young Living and doTERRA are the two that we recommend. And if you are someone who just wants something that's ready to go, you don't have to mix and play alchemist. I've included on your slides here, Young Living's product is actually called insect repellent, super inventive. They also have like a wipe, like a topical wipe that you just like all over. And then the doTERRA counterpart is called TerraShield. This link here, I believe, will take you to the spray. And again, you can just on your body. Now, when we are talking about what goes around your body and goes in your yard, there are a few pieces that we want to talk about. So we don't spray. And when I see, we go out in Mapleton, you know, they send like the fogger trucks out, and like, actually made me really happy. My sister's family lives in Aberdeen. My nephew just turned 4, and they sent out the fogger trucks. My 4-year-old nephew, who is very well informed, was irate. Mom, those guys, like he's yelling at the truck as it's driving around town spraying for bugs. He was so mad. Mom, they're spraying chemicals. We don't use those. And like, if you're watching, Macy and family, love you, proud of you. But anyways, what you would do, or what we do instead, is we ditch and maintain and get rid of all of the mosquito breeding grounds that we have control over. So you want to drain any standing water that's in your yard or around your home. You want to mow regularly. If you're like, oh my gosh, I hate mowing, get yourself a neighbor boy that's just looking to make a little money on the side, like an Alex Hansen. If he's watching this video and his family's watching, it's a plug for your side hustle, my friend. Keep your yard mowed. And then we also want to make sure we're picking up leaves, brushes, twigs, sticks, which is also a great chore, I guess you'd want to say, if you have those things to pick up. Like our 9-year-old, I saw the number 9 of people watching, and that's where that came from. Our 3-year-old helps us pick up sticks. They then turn into weapons, but as long as they're off the ground, what you will do, man, is what you will do. And then some products that we like, Natural Grocers, I probably should have stock in that place. I love it. So this, the weird sticks sticking out of the planter that you see right there, is a product called Skeeter Sticks. We found it at Natural Grocers. It's incense that you light and you place it around your yard when you're hanging out outside. It kind of gives it like a tiki vibe, or like maybe a hippie vibe. I don't know. They're effective and they're kind of fun. We just place them in like mason jars or empty kombucha jars or whatever. And then the other product I have listed on this page, guys, is from a company called Wondercide. So I've just actually learned about them within the last couple months. They've been shared in a lot of like crunchy, natural parenting and chiropractic groups. So not only do I know that they're clean, because I've done my due diligence, I wouldn't recommend them to you if otherwise, to know that they're plant powered, there's no icky stuff in them, but I also have it on good authority to know that they're effective. This particular product right here, you can use for your yard, but they've also got stuff for your dogs. They've got stuff for your homes. They've got stuff for your families. So I would highly encourage you to dig into some of those resources. And if we're going to be talking about things that we are putting on our bodies, we cannot overlook sunscreen. So I honestly could talk about sunscreen for 4 stinking hours. There's so many pieces. We are a no sunscreen family for lots of reasons, but 2 that I'm going to talk about. Okay. And actually, I corrected myself last time. I cannot say we are a no sunscreen family. There maybe been 3 times in Hank's 3.5 years where we have used a sunscreen. We were outside all day long and the UV index was high, and the temperature was hot. And we opted for like an unscented Badger product that we got at Natural Grocers. The thing of it is that Badger sunscreen it went on really thick and it was hard to rub in, which makes sense because a lot of those safer alternatives are made using vitamins, specifically titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. So those minerals, like, they're big, so they're not going to rub in. Okay. But typically we're no sunscreen family for reason number 1, a lot of the ingredients in them have been shown to cause allergic reactions, to disrupt hormones, to impair kidney function, to mess with reproductive organs, and research has shown that they are tied to cancer. So I want to point out this Banana Boat Sport here. I believe the 100, if I'm recalling correctly, it's an SPF 100. This is also, if you click on the link underneath it, it will take you to the Environmental Working Group's, their website. So the EWG, the Environmental Working Group, is an organization that continuously and on an ongoing basis researches and, hi, Lori, thank you for tuning in. The EWG continually publishes research and is always advocating for the environment and for human health. And so they look at products that you use in your home. They look at products that go on your bodies. They look at products that go in your bodies. So this link will actually take you to a list of sunscreens, like a pile of sunscreens. The Banana Boat that I've included here on their scale is a 10. 10 is no bueno, my friends. 10 means that the ingredients are not clean, that research has shown repetitively and continuously to have longstanding health consequences, that the company is not transparent with their practices. I honestly, the EWG is one of the most used websites on my Google search. If I'm ever going to buy something with a label in a store, I will go to my Google search and I will type in EWG and the product. If it has a rating, I believe how it works, if it's a product, it will go 1 to 10, 10 being not good, 1 being clean. If it is a food item, it will use an A, B, C, D, E system like that. Obviously, A is ideal, okay? But I'm getting off track here. Oh, yes, okay. So no sunscreen family for this reason. And the second reason is maybe more philosophically sound, and it's because that we do not believe we need protection from the sun in my home. God made the sun, God made the grass, He made you and me and water and trees and everything. Therefore, I do not believe the sun to be something that we need protection from. It's actually quite on the opposite, because when you look at every color of sunlight has a health benefit for you. Ultraviolet B actually encourages production of the hormone that we call vitamin D. Ultraviolet A ramps up melatonin and helps lower blood pressure. Blue light, like natural blue light that you see in the morning, is going to help set that circadian rhythm, which is why it is so stinking important to get yourself and your kiddos outside early in the morning, ideally for 15 minutes. Sunset light, red light, is actually going to help lessen nerve pain. It's going to help produce like thyroid hormones and support overall thyroid function. There are so many benefits to being outside in the sun. And how cool is this? We have our own built-in protection. So we're out in the sun, we're exposed to sunlight. It is going to actually trigger our melanocytes, which are the responsible for producing melanin. Melanin gives our skin like its color and also has a protective property. So we have our own built-in protection. It's a feed forward, friends. I have my sister-in-law, one of the most favorite mom hacks that she shared with me, which is relevant when I had, like when Hankster was little, but now we've got a 10-month-old. So we have got poop, clothes galore, because she's well adjusted. She poops all the time. But we got a lot of laundry that has poop on it. And instead of scrubbing on it or using harsh chemicals, because you know I don't do that, what we do is we actually get the onesie or whatever, get it with cold wet water. We put it out outside in the sun. We let it sit for a couple hours, depending on it's very situation dependent, but depending on the time, like sometimes you'll come back and it's like there's like sediment or it's like black or green. Get it wet and put it back outside again. Sometimes you just need to do it once. Sometimes you got to do it twice. But after that, take it off of. We kind of look like hillbillies, I suppose, when we do this. I'm sure our neighbors are really curious, but our laundry is wicked clean and it's not using anything harsh. After that, I just throw it right in my laundry with the rest of the clothes and Bob's your uncle. Everybody wins that way. Now, before you blast me, okay, we sure do love well-adjusted folks, Doc Lauren. Yeah, we do. I'm not saying that I send my kids outside to fry and just deal with it, okay? If we're going to be outside, especially between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., where the sun's rays are actually the strongest here in North Dakota, and we're going to be outside for a long time, we are going to take lots of shade breaks. We don't have a lot of like tree cover in our yard, so we have got this little shade tent here that I listed in the slide, the picture. It's like $80 on Amazon. You don't want to leave it up permanently because the wind here will mess it up. But if we are hanging outside, playing on the water table, we'll pop that baby up, and then we've got some options. And then, do you ever find yourself at Buffalo River State Park? You can take that with, because it turns out the sun is there too. So we always have shade. If we have got light layers available, we'll consider those. And this isn't directly related, but we also decided it is. We always have our water bottles. Your water is going to make sure, like adequate hydration is going to make sure that your pores are saturated, which is going to make it harder for those sun rays to permeate your skin. All right. And then should we ever travel to, I don't know, somewhere like closer to the equator, what I would actually do is this second link that I have here. It says EWG verified sunscreens. So again, that EWG website has got, I guess you would call it a mark, a seal, and it's EWG verified. That means that a product meets their standards for having clean ingredients. There's nothing suspicious about them. They have transparent and good practices. Their product's legit. If it's on this EWG verified list, I would consider using it. And I would deem it safe for myself and for my family. Okay. Over the years, it has happened. Hey, Dr. Cami, I love that you're joining us. Over the years, it has happened where I've overdone it and found myself with a little bit of a sunburn. In that case, lavender oil, again, making sure you're using a good quality one, is going to soothe the burn, and it's also going to expedite the healing process. Recommendation that's not so well received is vinegar. So you're going to stink like a pickle, but if you have a gnarly sunburn and you want to just feel better, you might consider it, right? Now, if we're going to be talking about sunscreen and common things we do in the sunscreen, we cannot overlook the pool and chlorine. So you might not be very jazzed to hear this. I'm not taking away your kids' fun, but hear me out, because chlorine is a toxin that literally affects every system, every organ in your body, especially the immune system, especially the liver, okay? So as if the skin being a giant sponge wasn't important enough, the chlorine gas that's actually released in the water is absorbed rapidly into your lungs. After just a 40-minute swim, after just being in chlorinated water for 40 minutes, our body actually starts showing signs of DNA damage, okay? Now, a lot of these like overexposure symptoms that you'll see here might seem a little bit familiar. If you tuned in last time, we actually talked about food products also, which we'll be doing later on in the summer. But when we're talking about like oppositional defiance and aggression and irritability and sensory overload and hyperactivity and tics, like there are a lot of gnarly side effects that come with chlorine exposure. So what I propose, DL is just a mere 45 minutes away. Beach swimming over the pool is going to limit that chlorine exposure, which if you've ever swam, of course, we've all swam, right? But if you compare swimming in a pool to swimming in a lake, you are far less tired, far less exhausted after swimming in a lake. You go to the pool and 2 hours, you're wiped out, right? But this isn't always an option, especially if you have like a competitive swimmer at home, or you are doing swimming lessons, or your kiddos just love to go with the nanny to the pool. So we have some other suggestions here on this page. Taurine that I have listed. Actually, first what I want to talk about, coconut oil. I also should have stock in coconut oil. We do so much with it. But I do this with myself. I do this with our 10-month-old. I do this with our 3-year-old. We grease up head to toe with chlorine. It creates a little bit of a barrier that's going to slow down absorption. PSA, it will make you slippery as all get out. So if you are toting around an infant, they're essentially now a greased up watermelon, and they will be hard to hold on to, okay? So just be aware. But that coconut oil is going to create a little bit of a barrier. Now I want to circle back to the taurine. If we did do swimming lessons or like swam often, what I would consider using is this amino acid taurine. It actually helps to bind and detox. It stays in the system for about 48 hours. So you'd want to take that 30 minutes before swimming. Also, when we are done swimming, we always shower off. That water is going to help to remove some of the chlorine that's left standing on the skin. And we get home, we always do an Epsom salt soak. So what I do is, again, I'm not really a measurer, but I suppose it's probably a cup of Epsom salts that you put in your bathtub. You want to soak for at least 15 minutes. The magnesium in there, as is a recommended supplement we're going to talk about below, is it's actually quickly depleted when you are exposed to chlorine. So supplementing with it and getting those Epsom salt soaks is going to make sure that you've got optimal concentration levels. Other supplements that you might consider, or at least do your research and looking into. Vitamin C is a huge proponent of detoxing and moving toxins and waste through our bodies, which is also awesome because everybody's like desire to eat fruits just seems to naturally ramp up in the summertime. So follow those cues, folks. And then iodine is one of my most favorite supplements. Chlorine, fluoride, bromide, they all actually inhibit the absorption rate of iodine. So if you are supplementing with that, it's going to make sure that your levels stay adequate. The thing about iodine is it is the precursor to active T3 thyroid hormone. Every single cell in your body needs thyroid hormone. It responds to thyroid hormone. So if you are deficient in iodine, not only is it going to like mess with your thyroid gland, which is what a lot of medical doctors will tell you, every piece of your hormonal system and glandular system is going to be supported by supplementing that iodine. If you need quality recommendations for what we have in the office or what we would recommend if you're not local, like reach out to us, okay? So to recap the 4 pieces that I want you to consider limiting or avoiding this summer, they are, I'm drawing a blank. Anybody help me? No, I'm just kidding. They are chlorine, sunscreen. I am really drawing a blank. Oh my gosh. Bug spray, yard chemicals, sunscreen, chlorine. All right. Does anybody have any questions while we're hanging out here? And of course, I can't overlook the fact that all of these awesome changes that you are making is only going to be best supported and promoted by maintaining regular chiropractic appointments. The body holds on to everything. The body keeps score. There's actually a book, but it's true. So you are going to, after an adjustment, actually detox and letting go of toxins and waste product is actually upregulated. And yeah, perfect. I see Dr. Lauren posted the link to this slide presentation. Obviously, this video will live on our Facebook. So if you would like to share the video or the slides themselves with someone that you think really needs the information, we ask that you share that with them. If you are not yet here in our office, we would love to find out ways that we could help you and your family. So message our Facebook page. We would be happy to help you find a new patient time. These workshops are going to be an ongoing Healing Touch Chiropractic effort, which means the next one coming up in July, where we are actually going to be talking about supplements, what you want to look for in a quality supplement, why you would want to buy them from or purchase them from your provider versus something that you can find at Costco, as well as our essentials, truly what a person should be taking for just like baseline health. Okay. So until then, here's to your healthy, happy family and a beautiful summer, everybody. See you next time.